You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Big news yesterday. Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North is going to be the next NRA president. How about that?
Good for him.
The most exciting news for our members since Charlton Heston became president of the association, said NRA Executive VP and CEO Wayne LaPierre. Warren Buffett also this week separating his private views from his business interests, responding to a question about doing business with gun owners.
Yeah.
He told CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin, "I don't believe in imposing my political opinions on activities of our businesses. I don't think we should put a question on the Geico policy form that says, 'Are you a member of the NRA?' And if you are, you're just not good enough for us," or something like that. "I don't believe in imposing my views on 370,000 employees and 1 million shareholders. I'm not their nanny on that." And he also added that he's given no directive on gun maker stocks. Well, I got somebody who could perhaps be in charge of special projects for Ollie North when he takes the helm at the NRA. He's David Campbell. He's the vice chairman of the Effingham Cty Board in Southern Illinois. And this is a nice little piece of jiu-jitsu. Oh, Cook County, you want to be a sanctuary city or sanctuary county when it comes to federal immigration policy? Well, how about we here in Effingham County become a sanctuary county when it comes to gun control legislation that's being bandied about Springfield? And that's precisely what they did. Effingham County, sanctuary county for gun rights. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by Effingham County Board Vice Chairman David Campbell. David, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for having me.
So what was the thought process that led you to this resolution that was taken up and passed by your board?
I've been watching the onslaught of bill after bill after bill being presented from our legislators, both in the House and the Senate, and thought it was time to take a stand. I didn't know how I was going to approach it at first, and I thought about it and thought a resolution might be the best way to do it, and started looking around, and I saw that Iroquois had done a resolution, and I looked at it, took some bullet points from it, and started adding some of my own language to it, sat down with our state's attorney, Brian Kibler, and he actually added the part about the sanctuary part. When he first said that, I thought I didn't understand exactly where he was going with it, and after he explained it, I said, "Hey, I'm totally on board. Let's do it." Great. And it's taken off like wildfire, Dan. I can't. It started out with just a few counties started coming on with us, and we've had 7 counties that I know of for sure that have passed this. And now we've had well over 50 counties ask for a copy of this resolution, and they're wanting to pass it as well.
What have people in your county said about this?
Hooray!
I've had overwhelming response, a positive response on this. I'm going to say 98, 99% positive. I've had maybe a percent just didn't understand it, and some of them were just anti-gun. But overwhelmingly support for us moving forward with this.
Well, it's such a great piece of jiu-jitsu because you then get Democrat Madigan roll call vote members of the House say things like, did State Representative Kathleen Willis from Elmwood Park, "I don't think you can say I don't agree with the law, so I won't enforce it. I think it sends the wrong message." So she is not aware of the glass house in which she lives as a sanctuary city, county, state supporter when it comes to actual constitutional rights as opposed to federal immigration statutes. So it's got to be gratifying for you to watch Democrats and other gun banners be twisted into knots over this.
You're exactly right, Dan. Actually, the local legislators here have reached out and shown me great support on this. All our local representatives and senators have supported this wholeheartedly. I got to laugh every time I hear that. The Democrats up in the Chicago area that have sponsored some of these bills, I just cannot believe they have sat down and even read their Constitution to understand it. I can't even see how they could come up with something like that.
But don't you feel bad, like you have to pay and exorbitant taxes for our Chicago politicians' sins. I've always felt it was unfair for people who live, south of I-80, that essentially you have higher property taxes in Illinois because of the fraudulent spending from Chicago Democrats.
Yeah, and that's true, and we do feel that. I know a lot of people feel that way. Even up north, I not even using the I-80 thing, I get a lot of comments from friends and relatives that live up that way that say the same thing. They're just tired of the strong arm politics up there. We need to make a change. There's no doubt about it. And right now, this feels like this is a huge grassroots effort right here. I didn't realize this was going to take off like it did. I just was making a statement. And it's just everybody's so passionate about this. I've had other states even ask for this now.
Yeah, it has. It's gotten national coverage, which is great because of course sanctuary city and state designations when it comes to immigration is a national issue too.
It's a liberal policy world, sanctuary.
Yeah, but right, and it's like I said, it's flipping the script on it, which is fun. And
that's exactly what we did. We kind of did a two-edged sword there. Basically two shots over the bow is what we shot with that sanctuary part. Is number one, we did not like the state saying that we could make this a sanctuary for illegal immigrants. We wanted to let them know we didn't like it, so that's why we did it. And then also to say leave our Second Amendment rights alone. It was basically two shots over the bow. And
there was one board member who voted against it, wasn't there?
There was one of our board members. I still really understand why she voted against it. She took the same oath that all the rest of us did when we took the seat for our office, which was to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Evidently, she didn't read it either.
Well, what was her argument against it?
She was going back to the days of the muskets and things like that. None of her argument even made sense. I didn't really understand where she was going with it. That the firepower we have now is different than what we had then, so we can't equate it to what we have now. Her argument didn't hold water. I don't understand where she was coming from with it.
And she got elected to the board in Effingham County. That'll be interesting to see what happens next time she comes up for election.
Yeah, it will. And I look at actually her group is making a movement right now to get me unseated, which is kind of funny. But
really,
why?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, because I came out with this resolution, they have come forth and the primary's already taken place, but now they are going to caucus in actually one of the doctors here in town to run against me for my seat.
So is this
resolution?
So this woman is a gun control advocate? She's an outspoken gun control advocate.
She's not an advocate.
Oh, she's not a gun control advocate.
No, she is not. She does not like guns whatsoever.
No, yeah, gun control advocate. She's a gun control.
Gun control. Yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Right,
yes.
And so there's actually a group in Effingham County that is like pro gun control that's on board with the Michael Bloomberg program and is really trying to prosecute their case.
Evidently is.
Well, that's interesting. That's a development too. So it just highlights. It's interesting because this sort of beats people out of the brush. And even Effingham County is a very conservative county. But it's interesting because they're not afraid to prosecute their case where the weight of public opinion is against them on a particular issue. But do you see that kind of conservative case being prosecuted in a place like, say, Cook County or the city of Chicago? No, not at all. And it's one of the reasons we have the state we have. It's just interesting to note that you are facing some opposition here, so it's not without consequence.
Yeah, and it's limited opposition. Like I said, I've only received just that is what I group into my 1%. I mean, it's, like I say, it's overwhelmingly in support of 98, 99% in support of. So I take it with a grain of salt, to be honest.
And are you guys then also paying attention to the gun legislation, new gun control legislation that is being considered in Springfield and that may be sent to the governor's desk and so forth?
Yes, we are watching that daily, and we didn't. Of course, we haven't added that into our resolution as of yet, but that's another fight down the road that we're willing to take on. And as more counties sign on with us, their strength in numbers, I'm feeling really good about where this is going and what kind of message we're sending to our legislators. These people are tired of getting these types of bills shoved down our throats, and now we're taking a stand. And I think the legislators need to perk up and start listening to what people want.
Do you think that there's a lack of appreciation in Chicago Metro for communities like exist in Effingham County?
I think there is somewhat. We feel there is. Just disregard for what people's feelings are, what they want. I don't think they're really in tune to what people want, even in their own area at some point. Like I said, I hear from a lot of people up that way. We even had a alderman from Elmhurst reach out and want a copy of this resolution. What's that tell you?
Tells you there's hope in Elmhurst. David Campbell, he's the vice chairman of the Effingham County Board, came up with this idea for Sanctuary County resolution to establish sanctuaries for Second Amendment individual gun rights, and it's taken off. David, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for having us. Appreciate you sticking in there with us on this site.
All right.
All right, happy to do it.
Thanks, David. Good luck to you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.